right there. Right there. As a matter of fact, all along on this ridge, I can see some. Oh, wow. That's kind of interesting. They actually kind of got all the way up in here, but I was like way down here. Let's see. Also, pay in mind, I'm also picking up lead. Now, this could be natural forming lead, or it could be bird shot, any pellets, or anything like that from any hunter out there, you know. And once you shoot it, you know, set a buckshot or something of that nature, it just goes everywhere, you know. Oh, but there's a lot of gold in there. A lot of it. I can even see some fine wires that's sitting in this riffle. I got 6 or 8 specks sitting up here on this top one. And a lot of garnet. Very, very tiny microscopic garnet bits. Now, I'm going to show a video here on that last go around when I turned around and went and brought all that material from me crevicing. And I wanted to show you a little bit of what that was that I got out of some of that gravels.
Wave.
Go ahead. So what you see in there is what came out of those gravels. And I was just blown away at this. That there is a chunk of topaz. And look how well the river had polished that. That must have been in there for a long time to get such a nice fine polish like that. Now, how is that possible? Well, I can give you a good answer for it. The stuff that I got on my finger is probably somewhere around 2,000 to 3,000 grit. Super fine. And if that is constantly abrading against a stone, such as a quartz or a topaz or any kind of material, this would actually turn around and polish this over time. If it's just banging against this stuff and rolling and sliding, it's going to eventually start polishing. So this stuff here, I'm most likely going to try at one point in time or another on probably a leather wheel and see how well that theory is correct. So we had that topaz, but another one that stunned me was this. That is an amethyst cap, or a piece of host amethyst that had been sitting in there forever. Beautiful, beautiful purple. Then I was coming across these. At first I thought these were like iron nuggets. They weren't iron nuggets. Those are garnet. The most gorgeous, pretty garnet I've ever seen in my life. This stuff here is pyrope. I'm wondering if I can actually get this light above me to actually get in there. Can you see it in there?
No, the light's too bright.
Oh, no. So what I'm seeing in here is an absolute beautiful rose red color with some banding. But this particular pyrope garnet would probably fetch anywhere between $25 to $50 a carat. Then I got these guys right here. These are another kind of pyrope, but they are of gem grade, and because they are pure all the way through and through. This one here just happens to be the color of a grape. Very fine purple. And the way I could tell that these were garnets, by just the weight. These are very weighty stones on the gemstone range. Reason why is because there's a lot of heavy iron in these. A lot of different fine ores that actually make up the composition of a garnet. Another cool one that I came across that was in here is this. Now, it don't look like much when it's dry. Once I get this wet, it's only then you see it. That there is green topaz, or else it's possible tourmaline. that was coming out of the gravels. So any of you gem hunters out there, you want to be sure that you look over your materials, no matter what, because this stuff is always going to be found, no matter where you're at. You see a heavy gravel bar, check it. You see some area where it looks like the earth has taken away some of the hillside, always check it. You can always see this stuff. I'm going to have a segment on that later on down the line, and I'll be actually on location to actually give you a pinpoint view of how, and step by step of where you must look. Let's go back to those maps. All set? Okay, so here's what we got. I'm going to have him do a close-up here real quick. This is out of 4 mats all together. Now, that's quite a bit of material I've got in there. That's roughly about, let's say, 4 to 8 cups worth out of that. That's quite a bit. Now, you're wondering exactly how long that would take to get through 8 cups of material. Well, you can do it the long way, which is take yourself a rubber pan here and just go through it 1/8 a cup at a time and just carefully pan it out. Get the flour gold. Or you can actually cheat a little bit and then turn it back and then go right back onto the sluice box with it and just run it once again. Now, pay mind, when you do that, all you're doing is super concentrating it. That's only making it better. So remember that. So now I'm going to turn around. We're going to make a collection on this. I got 2 different bottles that I use. This one here is just basically one of those dye bottles that you get, or ladies get for their dye kits. In fact, that's what they were doing up there tonight. So I had one of these around. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and use that today and grab our materials. So I'm going to go ahead, get all the air out, get in there as much as possible, and just carefully get the material up. Okay. I got a pretty good portion sitting in there. That's what we're going to do for this video. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to a couple other pans. Another pan that I use, and then one for the final step for this this process. So now I carry a wide range of different pans. The big one there is called a river pan. That's basically used when you're out in the field and you want to speed pan all your materials, or you're just out open prospecting. This too here is also a river pan, but much more smaller. This is where you take your concentrates, all your heavies, and you sit it in here just a little bit, and you run that and get all your darks to concentrate up and see where you're at with your gold. Once you've gotten your gold up, you're going to take a snuffer bottle like this. You're going to get all that gold out. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. And then once you get to that point, this is a cleanup pan. This here is strictly for cleaning up all the fine gold out of your darks. This gets it so that all you have is just nothing but your gold to collect and dry, and then later on to melt. So here we go. We're going to start that process now. So with my river pan, I'm going to go ahead and take that, tip that bottle upside down, get all that stuff all the way down to the bottom. Make a nice little lip. Only want that much so far. Don't want a whole lot in there. You overload a pan, and then it defeats the purpose of trying to shake the stuff down. So I'm going to get myself a little bit of water in here. That's about right. The right amount that you want in your pan to hit this first rib in here. And so now I'm going to go ahead and shake that. See all the lights that decided to capture as well, you're always going to get that. But you see there's almost a lot of darks in there, a ton of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick that to the back here, right up in here. This is called burping, using your inside of your wrist here, that little nook in the middle of your wrist, use that. And you just shake it. And as you do so, all your heavies, including your gold, is going to kick to the back of the pan, right back at you. Okay, so we're getting there. I'm going to lighten up the burp. Now you see all your darks right here. That's where this bottle that I'm going to use is going to come into play. I stuck her. Oh, right there. So, I'll go ahead and take this bottle and collect everything that's there. Go at it again. As you do this, you will start seeing gold fall out of the lights. Don't worry about those. We'll get those later. So now you've got it sitting in here in the bottle. Now comes this pan. Relatively new pans. They haven't really been taken with like a piece of sandpaper to rough them up. So now I got it all sitting in here. That's all nothing but black in there. Get all that washed out of there just in case. There it is. Now, with a pan like this, you want to keep it just below that first rib. Just below it. And we're going to do the same process again. I'm going to burp it. I'm going to use the inside of our hand. And then we're going to see. Swish it around. This one here, you just have the tiny stuff. Let's see. I got a couple there. Oh, there it is. Bring it to the top. There we go. So now, once we've got it to that point, I'm going to take this bottle once again. Just get that little bit. That's all I want. Just that tiny little bit right there. So now we got that gold is right in here. So now here's our third and final step, which is the cleanup. There we go. Now we can see what we got. Got one right there. One there. So that's not bad. Remind you, I didn't take the entirety of that bottle yet and go through this. That takes a while. Oh, we got two of them. There's a second one right there. There's one. There's two. Now you're wondering, how do you collect them two little specks? This is where a third bottle comes into play. You always want to keep as many of these as you can around. These are called snuffer bottles. So now with a clean snuffer bottle that is see-through, you want them see-through. That way you can tell if you've got it inside the bottle or not. So now that I've got it where I see those two specks, and again, just come in and collect them up. Guy decided to bury himself in the plastic. Yeah, oh, there we go. Got him. There he is. Now he's in there. Both of those are in there now. A couple other extras, it looks like. Yep. Some I didn't see. So now I got to put some more water back in there. Again, not much. And then you just repeat that process again until you get all that material to pull all that gold out. Collecting powder gold is very strenuous, time consuming, and mind numbing. So keep that in mind, folks, when you're doing this work. This is not for the impatient, and it's definitely not for those who wish to get rich real quick. So
That's
with
the
that,
truth.
folks, I'm going to cut this video off, and we're going to go into a brief one in a little bit here about crevicing, my remake of that video.